Hello again, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, and look what I have here. Guess what? I have another story. He's had this at 3 separate garages, 4 Transit Custom. Okay, first garage done a DPF clean, it didn't work, so he done another clean, it didn't work. So each time he's had this at a garage, within an hour or two the faults come back. So the second one, took off the DPF, sent it away, had it cleaned, had it back, he's put it back on. They've replaced various sensors and stuff, he said, and then the third guy done the same thing again, and basically said to him, no, do you know, all you need to do is just take it on a 50-mile journey down the motorway, and that'll fix your problem. Now, if you've seen my channel before, you're gonna know what I'm talking about before even going and have a look. I kind of knew what was going to happen before this customer even came, but you never know. I just plugged in the diagnostics and it's just confirmed it for me. So up around 3000 RPM we have 860 millibars of pressure. Down at idle we did have 180, but it's now idling down around at 150. Come out of the live data, read the fault codes. I'm using a Launch Eurotab 3 scan tool here. Particle filter pressure too high. Temperature, exhaust temperature too low for the regeneration. So that means you need a vaporizer. Particle filter forced restriction, so it's just all particle filter blocked codes. So this is going to need a vaporizer and a DPF clean. So I've got the blowtorch here onto the vaporizer, which is up here between the subframe and behind the engine here. Now I'm going to get up there with a 22mm spanner here. Just work that loose. There we go. It's the vaporizer out. Just looking at the DPF here, it doesn't really look good there for it. See if you can notice the colour difference from the top to the bottom. That has been overheated. You can just tell by the colour there. So hopefully they haven't damaged it. We'll have to see once we put a cleaner through it. Hopefully it's savable. Now just over here we have the electrical plug. We've taken that off. And we have here the fuel rail or fuel line for it. Just press that in and get released. So that vaporizer is now very hot and you don't want to touch it. Okay, so if we have a look at this vaporizer, you see right there you're supposed to have a hole to inject the diesel fuel out into the DPF, and that raises the temperature of the DPF to help it burn off the soot. And if you have a look at that, you can see it's sort of fizzing up because we're putting pressure into it from a midi-vac here. But you know, you can see that that is no good. It's not fit for purpose anymore. Now, if you have a look on some of my other videos on my channel, you can do a repair on these, which is using a blowtorch, the same blowtorch, to get them unblocked. But now that we're here and we've gone this far, we're just going to stick a new one in it. This one has basically had its time, it's very old. So I've got here in my drawer a couple of brand new ones, so we'll get this one fitted and that one can go back into the broken pile over there. These are handy for me to keep just in case you need any of these ends or the hoses or anything like that. So I'll get that new one there caked up with some high temperature grease. Now just to give you an idea of where it is fitted on the van, I'm just under the van here. You come under here and up there that's where it goes. Right up there. Okay, that's the new vaporizer all fitted in there. Sorry, I can't get you a very good angle on it. So we just come around the back here, we plug back up the fuel line and the electrical connector, and you have your vaporizer just up there. Okay, so if you know how my videos normally go, I'll get one of these bottles of Launch UK DPF cleaner, and we'll pour 50% of this bottle into the gun here. And now we'll mix that up with 50% of water to help it oxidize. Okay, now I've got that ready to go. The gun is all hooked up to the compressor there, and we'll go underneath the van now again. I'm going to come over to the DPF here. We have the DPF pressure hose right here. Just open the clip off of that, and we'll get that pipe open up. We might have to give it a bit of twisting, a bit of wiggling around, and we'll get it off. They do sort of weld themselves on. There we go. So now connected up to my gun here, a bit of fuel hose just to help it connect up to the DPF metal pipe there. So we'll get this hose now connected in there, just so it seals up and I don't make a mess. That's all that's for, really. You don't have to do that, but I find if I put 120 psi pressure, the fluid has nowhere else to go except force its way through the DPF. So now I'll just squeeze the trigger, and hopefully we'll get all of that fluid pushed in there. I'm just going to hold the trigger until all of the fluid's gone. You can see there it's making its way out. So now we'll disconnect that, just let that die down. We'll connect back up this hose here. Okay, I'm going to clear the fault codes just temporarily. Of course these will come back. Now I'm going to read the data stream. We'll just have a look at the soot and the differential pressure. Change that over to HPAs. This is the same as millibars. We'll start the vehicle up. Hold the revs back up around 3000 RPM. See, there's a big difference already. Less than half of what we were. So we're just going to hold the revs there. Just hold the revs with my pedal depressor. I'll just have a look at the rear of the van there. You can see a lot of smoke like that. Okay, now coming out of the live data, I'm going to have to go to special functions, and to do this just going to have to turn the ignition engine off, ignition on, and we'll go to power control modules, particle filter learned values. Going to reset that. So now that's to complete, and then come back to the data stream again. I'm going to pick a few items that I want to look at. So the temperature of the exhaust and temperature differential pressure. So we'll let the vehicle idle up. We are sitting around about 11 millibars of pressure, so we're going to take it on a test drive now. So sorry, before I do that I need to just go back and clear the fault codes so the engine light's gone, so it doesn't affect the DPF working again. DIFF. We'll look back at the data stream again. We'll just pick these items that I want to look at again. Okay, I've got these items here to watch, which is the temperature, the soot loading, and the DPF pressure. Okay, vehicle is now idling at 2 millibars. We'll hold the revs up to 3000 RPM again. Round about there. Just go a little bit up again. We have, let the screen focus, just get that screen to focus there. We have sort of 60 millibars. I don't know what's going on with the screen. So yeah, it loses focus as I move around. We got 60 millibars at idle, and we got sort of 1 or 2 millibars, around 2 millibars at idle there. There we go. So what will happen when you first take it for a drive, that will quickly jump up to sort of 620 degrees, try and do its first regeneration. Once that's learned, a couple of minutes later it'll come back down to sort of 150 to 200 degrees as you're driving, and as long as these don't start rising up quickly, you're all good to go. Your pressure is down nice and low. Come back out of the data stream, go to read the fault codes, just confirm that you haven't got any fault codes returned after a test drive, and obviously we haven't, and that's job done. So that's it, all sorted. It's as easy as that. Couple hours, job done. See you in the next video.